Good afternoon from Wembley, one of the great days in the sporting calendar. It's cup final day.
Oh, Jonesy, that sends shivers down my spine seeing Des Lynam in front of the Twin Towers there in Wembley. How you doing, mate?
Isn't it? Good, good. It's a special event, isn't it?
Special event. We've rose to the occasion, haven't we? I mean, you and I are suited and booted for the FA Cup final special.
We are. I said it was a joke. I didn't realise you'd go.
Absolutely. Do you know, like, the funny thing is, though, is obviously in Australia right now, it's probably roasting hot.
20, yeah, 20, I was 24 at the moment. It's all right.
Yeah, but rest assured, guys, we're not with the suit trousers, the shoes, the carnation. We are just top heavy with our suit and tie on today.
Yeah, there we go.
But what a way to introduce the podcast. I mean, firstly, grandstand music, Des Lynam. Come on, right, let's just talk Jonesy for a moment. Mate, tell me, what did that mean to you when you were a kid watching that?
Like my reel I put up yesterday, the next 6 hours I'm going to be unavailable. I'm worried the pod's not going to go for 6 hours, but I could with the content we've got. But for
I know.
it's one of the days of the year you look forward to.
Huge. Huge. Yeah, I think it was more of like a community thing. Yeah. You know, it was like you did just dedicate your whole morning to watching the build-up because they filmed the players getting on the coach. They filmed them getting off. I think some FA Cup finals, they even showed the coach parking, right?
They'll go live from the team hotel.
Exactly.
And they used to have like things like managers sat in a sofa together chatting, captains playing snooker against each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it was like meet the teams, and there was so much detail that went into it, wasn't it?
Yeah. What they were wearing in terms of the suits, who they were tailored by. Wow. Like, I mean, FA Cup finals now are very much the hour build-up, how they got there, a few interviews with the players, but the coverage is nowhere near. So this is why we have brought this podcast to you today, guys. That 90s FA Cup final podcast.
That's it.
Jonesy, tell us what's in store for the episode, mate.
We're going to go through everything, aren't we? I think we go for the road to Wembley, the actual cup final. We're going to touch on songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little TV guide as well. We've got everything. Yeah, we're going to touch on pretty much everything. It's going to be a good episode, mate.
So sit back, relax, put your headphones on, grab a beer, whatever you're doing with the podcast, and we will take you through 90s FA Cup final nostalgia.
Guess what, mate? I've been looking forward to this one.
Me too.
We're going to get a t-shirt printed, that one.
We obviously have these particular phrases. It's hard not to say this stuff, though, isn't it? It's like game's gone, or wasn't the same as what it used to be, or I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, that's
right. Kick us off, mate. Where do we start?
Well, we're not going to bother with what we're wearing because we're in suits, mate. So I guess you could just say what you've got.
Marks and Spencer.
I think this is Connor, and I've got, like I pointed out, I've got a little FA Cup badge as well.
Yeah. Can you zoom in on that or show us a little bit more?
A little bit. This was given to me by Neville Southall in 1995 at Colwyn Bay when he brought the FA Cup on tour.
Did he? That wasn't a pin badge he wore on the day of the final. He got that for winning, and
I don't know. They just gave him out like when he did a meet and greet thing.
So Big Nev has touched that badge.
Yeah. I got to touch the FA Cup as well. I did have the photo. Sorry, I put it on Instagram. But I was in the local newspaper with the trophy. It's good times.
Amazing.
Even as a Liverpool fan, I could not turn down a chance to go and see an Everton player with the FA Cup.
Oh, because unbelievable, right? Because I remember this feeling, okay, because the FA Cup to me as a kid was almost bigger than the World Cup. I know that sounds silly. I know it's not. But in terms of the scale of it, it was huge. So I can remember as a kid, I was on a Coca-Cola soccer school locally during the summer. And one of the days, me and my brother had a trip to Wembley. And it was the traditional old Wembley. And it was the most breathtaking stadium I have ever seen in terms of walking around, looking how big the stands were, how far away the crowd seemed. Obviously, I was only there in a weekday, so they put like the sound of the crowd on as you walked out the tunnel.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
So that was unbelievable. But my memories of that are the managers suited and booted with the flower, leading their teams out, that walk from the kind of race track around the outside across to the pitch. It just sort of, it makes me have goosebumps just even thinking about those days.
Yeah, and it was like, I mean, you look in old magazines and stuff with interviews with players, like a lot of them say their dream is to score in a cup final.
Yeah.
Like an FA Cup final. I mean, I don't, now it's Champions League, World Cup, but back then it was like every boy's dream to score in a FA Cup final, wasn't it? That's how much it meant.
Well, you listen to all these podcasts of ex-professional players, etc. That was the pinnacle moment. If you featured in an FA Cup final, you made it as a professional, right?
Yeah.
And I can kind of see why. I don't know if you interviewed players of today, would they have that same, would they be a bit more like, Champions League or winning the Premier League or qualifying for Europe? The FA Cup's kind of lost that magic, which is why today, my friend, we are going to relive this magic.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Kick us off, boy.
Yeah, I think we're going to go into Stat of the Week, aren't we? I've updated the Stat of the Week. Little intro video here. FA Cup centric. So hope you like this one. What is it, Wembley?
with my stat album. Hey!
It took me ages to find that picture of one of them.
Oh, wicked.
Like, yes, I've got to put it. So for the listener, I've just updated the Stat of the Week graphic just to include Woody at Wembley with his binder.
Do you know what, right? I'm getting sick and tired of trying to tell people to watch YouTube because you should be watching it already. I've put a suit on for you today. Jonesy is sweating in Australia for you.
That's it.
Right.
Sacrifice. All right, mate. What have you got?
I've got a plethora of stats for you today. Obviously, I'm going to be sprinkling them throughout the episode. But today, right, first thing I didn't know, right, Manchester United in 1990, when they won the FA Cup, en route to Wembley, Manchester United won all of their games away from home.
Oh, okay.
Never at Old Trafford, which was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first FA Cup tie to be decided by penalties was in 1991 between Rotherham and Scunthorpe, and it finished 7-6.
All right.
Now, penalties to be decided. I know that wasn't an FA Cup final, but it was an FA Cup game. I thought was incredible. And Chelsea's main feature in the FA Cup obviously was 94 against Man United and 97 in against Middlesbrough. And obviously, I think, was it 2000, obviously, they made against Aston Villa. But we didn't talk about that one.
Yeah, can't even remember that one.
Did you know? I completely forgot this one, but they were both led out by player managers. Glenn Hoddle and Ruud Gullit.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, there you go.
So I didn't know Ruud Gullit was still classed as a player manager, but apparently at that point, because obviously Glenn Hoddle put himself on in the 94 final, as you do.
Yeah.
But Ruud Gullit, I don't think he featured, but he was still classed as a player for Chelsea in that season.
There you go. That's
interesting. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Now. No worries. All righty.
Over to you.
Okay, I think we had discussions in there. I was like, because it's going to be a heavy episode content, do I do hold the back page? And I was like, yeah.
Hell yes.
Because I apologize. I was going to park it for the week.
Right.
But, no. All right. I think
it has to feature, mate.
It has to. I know. You missed that riff, don't you? You can't.
Indeed.
All right. So
the Littlewoods flag. Yes. Oh, the tiniest details are incredible, by the way.
So this is hold the 90s FA Cup back page.
Right.
Okay. Ready for it? Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay. So this is from May the 21st, 1995. The headline is Bluetiful. So Everton left mighty Manchester United trophyless yesterday with a gritty 1-0 win at Wembley on a day when Merseyside held a team true of blue heroes. Goalkeeper Neville Southall won the day. Ironically, their display also made ex-boss Mike Walker a £150,000 winner. Walker axed in November had their FA Cup winning bonus written into his contract when he took over 16 months ago. The 3-year contract was terminated just after 10 months, but he still qualified for the bonus.
Mike Walker, what a result. That is incredible.
I know, I saw that one and I was just like, far out.
Normally, the managers would probably be a bit cheesed off with not featuring in an FA Cup final, because that would probably be quite big for Mike Walker, wouldn't it, at the time?
Yeah.
Lead out Everton, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, 150 grand in the pocket. And also, as a Liverpool fan, mate, did you want Everton to win against Man United? Does it work like that?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw United as more as
Merseyside, you know.
Yeah, I think I said. Yeah, I saw Man United more as a rival, because in school it was Liverpool, Man United, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, you've mentioned on other episodes, to get one over, it's like when Sheffield Wednesday would beat United, you know.
Yeah.
Normal
service resumes after they've lifted the trophy.
That's it. That's
one hell of a bit of paper, though. That Mike Walker.
Yeah. I'd have found that one. I was just like, that's going on the back page. So, Mike Walker, eh? Jeez.
I think in terms of like that match itself, though, was huge, because that was the season that Man United were beaten in terms of the league and the cup. So it was becoming a regular occurrence that Man United would feature in some form of a trophy. But obviously that was a real wake-up call for Man United, wasn't it, that season? Because obviously they changed things and tweaked things. And
it's going to be a bit like Man City, I think. Yeah. At the moment, in present day.
Yeah. I do think things need to change, mate. And I think that was quite a catalyst for that, I think, in FA Cup history, 95.
Absolutely. So I had this discussion before we recorded as well. So we're being a Premier League podcast, we're going to go mainly from 93, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, at a Premiership era, we're going to talk about Premiership era FA Cup final.
Yeah.
But going through your research, I was just said before, I watched the 1990 Cup final highlights on YouTube, and what a game! Like, Ian Wright. I mean, I've got the program here as well. Look
give me a little zoom in on that one.
There you go. It's like a book. Look how
That's
good it was.
beautiful, shiny, isn't it? That conditioner, that is incredible.
Remember the smoking adverts on?
Where they didn't put like the picture of like a lung or something on the back. It was more glorified.
And I was like, I'm an advert freak. I love adverts. Look at that one for the keeper. Look at that.
Buckter. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. And also I've got the replay one as well. A bit thinner.
Yeah.
More smoking on the back.
What did it say inside the replay one? Like, please see previous issue. Oh.
You'd have to rush it, wouldn't you? Oh.
Can you imagine, though, like people that worked in the marketing department or whatever at the FA, would be like, oh my God, it's gone to a replay. Right, John, we need overtime.
I mean, Jim Leighton got dropped for the replay, didn't he? I mean, someone in the replay once done even Jim's well marked, like, advert for Adidas.
Yes, so who was the goalie that replaced Jim Leighton?
I think it was Les Seeley, wasn't it?
Les Seeley, but didn't he have like a really bad injury in that game as well?
I think so. I just
didn't he have like a real bad cut?
It could be. I remember it was Jim Leighton's last game for United. He wasn't even on the bench, was he? No,
well, he really threw his toys out of the pram, didn't he?
Well, have you seen, like, looking at his performance in that first game, like for some of the goals?
Yeah.
You can see why Fergie was like, we got to change it up.
Was that the first time we saw Fergie ruffle some feathers, do you think? Or do you reckon he'd already done that before?
Yeah, I reckon he done it before, hasn't he?
Well, what I love about the that 90 final actually, mate, was the kits.
Oh yes.
Because obviously the first game was obviously Palace were in their traditional blue and red stripes, weren't they? But that was the Fly Virgin kit, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then their away kit, which I never see, is the black and yellow stripe kit. Oh, incredible.
It's a classic. They've done a re-release of that one. I think you
have they?
Yeah, and I've been eyeing it up, both of them actually, because for Cup final kits, they're beautiful.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah.
So I hope they can get my hands on them as well. Same with United ones as well.
The United one weren't that bad, were they? So yeah.
No, because they wore white in the final, then red in the replay.
Is that the shirt that's just been re-released, by the way, by Adidas, the white one?
I think so. It's
similar
variant to that one, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Then going on to 91 as well. I guess we're touching over that one. Said I don't remember this one, to be honest. Like obviously during the time, we know about it. Tottenham 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
Yeah.
I think it was the Gascoigne, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2 violent tackles within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, what I found interesting about 91, because obviously that's the famous Gaza, isn't it? Saying, I'm getting my suit measured.
Yeah.
But obviously their first semi-final to be held at Wembley was in 1991. Tottenham Arsenal, which was the 3-1 Tottenham. Obviously the Gaza goal, but that was the first ever semi-final to be played there. I thought was interesting.
Was that the first final as well? For obviously Spurs wore a different kit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, the Umbro.
Yeah, because they played in the Hummel kit, didn't they? And then
yeah,
that's a real weird moment. Hummel for the season and then Umbro for the final. I mean, both kits were glorious, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the Spurs one somewhere, but yeah, I mean, I'm a traditionalist. New kits need to be first day of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Jonesy. I have got a little bit of that for later on, but yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like, finish the season in your kit. Don't go advertising new because you ain't won nothing yet. You know?
Yeah, but I remember that game as well. Stuart Pearce, I mean, if that net wasn't there, that ball would still be going. Like, cracking free kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Paul Stewart and your mate Des Walker.
Des. Yeah, you didn't have to mention that, mate, did you? But yeah.
Sorry,
poor old Des. I mean, he's had a few moments, hasn't he? Bless him, where it's kind of gone against him. But my God, like, what a player! But yeah, I mean, they had a great side there because was that Roy Keane as well for Nottingham Forest? Would that have been?
Yeah. They had Forest had Crosby, Gary Charles, Des Walker, Steve Chettle, Stuart Pearce, Gary Crosby, Roy Keane, Gary Parker, Ian Wone, Nigel Clough, and Lee Glover.
Ian Wone. See, Crossley saves a Lineker penalty in that game, doesn't he?
It does, yeah. Lineker didn't have. I mean, he had a goal ruled off for offside, which I think should have stood. What I say, but Lineker didn't have a. Yeah, he didn't have a classic, did he? But they won.
So, fast forward a year. Do you want to talk about 92, Jonesy, or are we just moving on?
Yeah, we can talk a bit about 92.
Go on. Give us a little dusting.
It was the first FA Cup final to feature a second division team since QPR reached the final in 1982.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's Jonesy.
Not the best fight. I mean, Steve McManaman had a hell of a game. He won man of the match. He got man of the match. But seeing little Steve McManaman run around terrorising Sunderland. But Sunderland did well in that game. They nearly got the program as well for that one, if you want to have a look. It's not as classic as the other one.
Oh, what is that on the front?
I don't know.
Is that a blurred boot?
It's like someone surfing in like some dirty. I don't know what it is. And on the back, there you go.
Is that a block of? I thought it was a block of butter.
It's a cardboard box, and the cardboard box is obviously thinking about being Benson and Hedges' special filter.
Oh my God! Lay off it with the cigarettes, guys. Blimmin' heck.
As I said, cracking program with all your team lineups, stuff there, adverts and swell. Yeah. What I loved about this one, I had it on my wall as well. I think my son ripped it off, but that's okay. Still love you, Zach.
Just get that disclaimer in.
Yeah, he'll be watching this next week. Yeah, that poster that came with it.
Oh my God. What's that on there? Is that the teams in the bottom corner? Sorry.
Yeah.
They're great poster.
Yeah, as I said, I don't know who the graphic designer was for that one, but the colours are Bill. Don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the most memorable cup final, I don't think.
No, I think in terms of kind of how we're going to structure this, do you want to go into, because we've had some people make some comments about this FA Cup final episode, haven't we?
Yeah.
Do we answer the people first, or do we go into our episodes and then do people at the end? I think we should go for the cup final, shouldn't we, and go to 93. Should we do that?
Yeah, I reckon so. All right,
okay.
Cool. All
right.
You've got more knowledge on this final than me, mate.
Yeah.
Right.
So behind me, guys, for those of you that aren't watching, I have these shirts from the FA Cup final 1993, the day that Woody burst onto the scene for Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, the 93 FA Cup final was held between Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday, which obviously was a repeat of the Coca-Cola Cup final earlier on in that year.
That's crazy how the world works, eh?
It is mad, really, and a beautiful spectacle for an FA Cup. However, it was actually one of the lowest attendance at Wembley for an FA Cup final.
Okay.
Only 62,000, or just over 62,000. But in terms of a London club and then Sheffield pretty much emptying in the semi-final for when we played Sheffield United, I'd have thought it would have probably been a little bit higher, but it's quite an expensive day, isn't it, the FA Cup final?
Yeah. So looking at, we can look at Wednesdays. Obviously, if it comes up here, the road to Wembley.
Yeah. Club badge.
I mean, there you go. So round 3, they beat Cambridge United away. Round 4, Sunderland.
Yeah.
Round 5, Southend United.
Yeah.
Quarter final, they drew against Derby away, so it went to a replay. 1-1-0, and then semi-final, Sheffield United, neutral ground.
So that road to Wembley there, I mean, looks relatively straightforward for a Premier League team, doesn't it? But it never is, because obviously Derby, I mentioned this in our Time Added On episode, was that was one hell of a game at the baseball ground, and then obviously we beat them 1-0.
Yeah.
But I think what was Arsenal's? Have you got Arsenal's road to Wembley there?
I do. It's pretty straightforward as well. Round 3, they beat Yeovil Town 3-1 away.
Yeah.
Round 4, it was a draw 2-2 against Leeds at home, so it went to a replay. It went 3-2. Round 5, beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. Quarter final, beat Ipswich 4-2 away, and then that semi-final against Tottenham. How's that, eh? 2 derbies in the semi-finals, eh?
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, that would have ruined it, wouldn't it, football history-wise, if Sheffield Wednesday had Tottenham and Arsenal had Sheffield United. You couldn't script stuff like that, though, could you? And I remember that road to Wembley for Arsenal because of the good old VHS days. And I remember seeing Arsenal play at Yeovil, and they had the bruised banana kit.
Yeah.
I think they wore the bruised banana kit at Yeovil because they could have worn the red, but they wore the yellow, and it looked incredible. And then they wore the bruised banana away at Ipswich, I believe. But I just remember, those goals from Ian Wright and Alan Smith and stuff like that, they were a hell of a team in 93.
So I haven't got the program with me. I thought I did, but I can't find it. So I put it on the screen as well. Bit of a
I've got it, but I can't find it.
Great program. Better than the 92 one.
Yeah,
absolutely. So Ian Wright, 20th minute, then David Hurst, 61st minute.
Yeah.
Then let's go into the replay. There we go. Replay. Not a fan. Someone's just knocked that program up.
Yeah, and again, I think that's quite harsh on reflection of the lowest attendance, because that's a Thursday night, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You're not going to expect that's. I mean, the stat there when they say it's the lowest attendance, still having 62,000 on a Thursday night at Wembley.
I'll be interested to see the who is watching it as well, because I mean, it's not. I don't think it would be the same, wouldn't it? You know, you build up to that Saturday, you're all, you know, excited, and then you've got, you know, obviously a draw. Then it's going to it. You got to wait till Thursday.
Yeah.
Right. And
a little bit of a secret into my family here. My little brother was born that day, 20th of May, 1993. So I remember me and my older brother were at home watching that replay when my little brother came into the world. So this is for you, David. Congratulations, mate.
So what I found interesting as well, obviously we talked about before, the 6-hour TV presentation on the Saturday. Do you reckon they would have made a bit of a deal on the Thursday? I'll show you. All right. So you got Neighbours. So you got Neighbours at 5:35.
Is that with Harold Bishop, or is
I don't know. It's got Doug as alarm to discover the theft of several valuable items.
Poor old
Then you've
Doug.
got EastEnders at 6:50. Oh, they won't be having that. Yeah,
some angry Cockneys.
Yeah, Sharon has trouble adjusting to grounds return to the Queen Vic. And then you've got at 7:20 the FA Cup final. And
so that would have been a 7:30 kickoff, wouldn't it?
I reckon so, yeah.
So they had a 10-minute build-up.
No, that's what I'm saying. You've got that 6-hour build-up, and then you get to Thursday, and you have 10 minutes.
Oh, dear. Wow.
So you would, on the news and everything, the Sylvania Waters would have been canned as well if it went to, obviously, went overtime. So
rightly so.
Yeah, so people that went for the news at 9:30, they would be pretty pissed off.
Can you imagine, though, being a fan for that? I mean, because, like I said, it's expensive to go to the FA Cup final as it is on a Saturday. Yeah. There's just south of 80,000 there on the Saturday. Finishes 1-1. They then make it to a Thursday night. Someone somewhere must have gone, this ain't right. This doesn't seem right. It has to finish on the day, surely.
My goodness. All right. And I said we were going to touch on some of the FA Cup songs we used to love. I used to love a song, FA Cup songs.
Mm-hmm.
I can touch on them as well. So we can do a bit of a top of the pops. Yeah. All right. Let's get it going.
Riff.
All right. So let's start with Arsenal's.
In at number 1.
Actually, this was in at number 34. Arsenal shout for the Gunners. Shout for the Gunners. I've got a little clip here as well. I'll play it. It's not. What are you thinking of that? What do you think? Shout for the Gunners. Kevin Cabell and the Ian Wright.
It's not bad.
Shout for the Gunners.
Is that them in the background?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You can almost hear Ian right there, can't you?
Yeah. All right, so that was at number 34. Where do you think in Sheffield Wednesday's song came? So
Sheffield please.
Where do you think that charted?
65th.
Sorry, mate. Did not chart.
Oh, cheers. What?
The Hillsborough crew. If it's Wednesday, it must be Wembley.
Was it? This was after Diamond Lights, though.
There you go. You heard this one?
Live and direct from Sheffield. The greatest
oh, dear.
Yeah. And what I've noticed in these songs as well, they just mention all the players' names.
Yeah.
It did not chart, unfortunately.
This
I love the CD it's got. They're all wearing shades on the cover. Here we go.
Shirtless king, a warhorse waddle made to swing. Sheridan Pierce, Parks and Hyde. I want some lights and feel my pride.
Feel my pride.
Yeah.
Again, though, they're almost like borderline cheese, but they still, not I say borderline cheese, they're 100% cheese, but they still work, don't they? And that sounds almost as though one of those kind of guys sat in a shopping mall on a keyboard, doesn't it? Yeah. He's got it on hip hop mode.
So Arsenal. Yeah, they beat Wednesday in the songs there at the top of the pops, unfortunately.
On that subject, though, Jonesy, do you think back then it was compulsory for a club to release an FA Cup song?
I reckon so. Because pretty much up till 99, every team did.
Because what do you think? It was just a club's way of going here. Are we going to have a few quid here, sell a CD?
Oh, I reckon so. Because some of it, we'll go through it. Some of the positions, some of the songs got to, they would have made a bit of money back then as well. None of the streaming business. So pure cassette or CD.
Pure cassette. The cup final for this one in '93 was delayed by half an hour on the Saturday. Did you know that? The kickoff.
I heard something. Yeah, what was going on?
Because there was an accident on the M1, so it was the first.
Right. Yeah,
it was the first FA Cup final not to kick off on time since 1923.
Wow. Okay.
So that's an unsettling stat because obviously there's an accident involved in it, but certainly events for that final, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. How many memories of '94? Were you interested? The build up to it. I think
Yeah. I remember the program for this one though, because it was almost like just a black program. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Look at that.
Pack of smoking on the back as well. Look, the smoking one's more interesting.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can remember that.
I used to like how they just look at that for all the.
That looks like a sticker book.
Oh, so whoever put this through,
how much was the program, mate? Does it say on the front?
£5.
Wow. See?
Yeah. Searching for the amber nectar, mate.
Why does that sound so good in your accent as well? And you say searching for the amber nectar, mate.
Mate, no one drinks Foster's. They don't even sell it. I think.
Do they not?
Not really. It comes out every now and then. Gets deleted. No one drinks Foster's, mate. Sorry to,
burst my bubble.
Burst a bubble. Oh,
honestly though, mate, everything's advert-wise.
That 94 sticker book.
Oh,
this is why I get the programs. I still buy them.
Yeah,
brilliant. I mean, this is 114 pages.
Wow, for a £5. Yeah. And again, guys, if you're not collecting programs or like the FA Cup final specials, you're missing out. If you love a bit of nostalgia and stuff, player profiles, the road to the final, some top class adverts, you can find them quite cheap, mate, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much detail in there. I reckon by the time you've read it, the cup final will be over. There's this content heavy in there. Road to Wembley for that one. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at Chelsea's. Okay. So they had a few replays in there. So round 3, they drew away against Barnet.
Yeah.
In the replay, they beat Barnet 4-0. Round 4, your boys drew at home with Sheffield Wednesday. In the replay, they beat them 3-1. How are you that? Oxford United, round 5, away 2-1. Quarterfinals, Wolves 1-0. And I've got the semi-final program somewhere against Luton. They won 2-0.
I completely forgot that game.
Yeah.
That Chelsea-Luton game. Sorry to Luton fans. Sorry to Chelsea fans. I completely forgot that match existed. Don't know how.
You must have been thinking back then that obviously from the 93 one, this must be normal. Sheffield Wednesday must get to finals every year.
Yeah. I was sort of tuning in on the final day going, Sheffield are going to come out in a minute. We're like, Chelsea?
And Manchester United's, let's have a look. Pretty straightforward. Beat your rivals, Sheffield United away, knocked them out of cup round 3. Round 4, they beat Norwich away. Round 5, Wimbledon away. Quarterfinals against Charlton at home, 3-1. And then obviously I've got the program here as well. The semi-finals against Oldham, so drew in the first one, and then the replay beat them 4-1.
Was that game played at Main Road? The replay? I think the replay of that game was played somewhere else because I think the first game was played at Wembley, wasn't it? Or was it?
Sure. Yeah, replay was at Main Road. You're right.
See,
the semi-final at Wembley.
All decisions.
Yeah, that's it. Main Road. Irwin, Kanchelskis, Robson, and Giggs. First final for Manchester United since 1990.
Bit of a clear winning final, though, this one, mate, wasn't it?
I've got the thing on here as well. What do you think, the kits?
Beautiful. Again,
Yeah,
you've displayed this so well, by the way, Jonesy. Like, I could just stare at these graphics.
Well, I thought, if we're going to talk about kits, programs, everything, attendance, get it all into one kind of graphic.
Absolutely. Yeah, beautiful.
Watching on Spotify and YouTube, I've put everything in one thing. So you can have a look at the kits, the program. Big attendance, 79, 634. And it was just Manchester United left it late, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, this was Glenn Hoddle's Chelsea, wasn't it?
Was it the famous image of Hoddle taking he was on the bench, wasn't he? And he was undoing his, got to bring myself on.
Yeah. Because obviously this was his first season at Chelsea, wasn't it? Because he'd gone from Swindon to Chelsea, still hadn't officially hung up his boots, but to get to the FA Cup final, because obviously he was player manager at Swindon, player manager at Chelsea, Wembley in 2 successive seasons. That's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, he did. He brought himself on in the 68th minute. So let's go back to it. So 68th minute. So, there we go. So Cantona scored a penalty in the 61st, 67th, another penalty. And he's like, right, I got to get on. And I think as soon as he's come on, Mark Hughes has scored in the 69th minute.
Yep. Well done, Glenn.
Yeah.
The floodgates opened.
But looking at the highlights on YouTube and that one, he sat on the van, he suddenly just start the tracksuit.
It's like sometimes, I wonder, because I've seen that clip, and I wonder if he expects an ultimate roar come from Chelsea, like, Glenn's coming on.
Because who else did he have on the bench? So they had Kevin Hitchcock, Glenn Hoddle, Tony Cascarino was only 3 subs.
Yeah. Cascarino would have done a job, but maybe they were lacking that creative spark in the middle, maybe.
Yeah, he came on for Mark Steen.
Mark Steen. God, they took a striker off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. All right.
94. Done.
Want to have a touch on the cup final songs for this one?
Go on.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's go for Chelsea. Okay, so Chelsea's won, but no one can stop us now. Okay, I've got that one.
Well, they did.
There you go. This is a good one. I like this one. Yeah, look at that. What a riff. This is an FA Cup song. What do you think?
I like this.
It's all right.
Wow, yeah, I like that one.
Okay, that's a FA Cup final song.
That's a bit like what's that New Kids on the Block, like Hang Tough.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's all right. So that came in at that charted at 23.
You know, I'd expect better from the British public with that one, I'm afraid.
Where do you reckon Manchester United one came?
Oh, 5th. Was it Status Quo?
No, it came first. Come on, you Reds.
Yeah. Do you know what? This song did my head in at school.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it for you.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah. Typical Status Quo. Yeah.
Again, it's just that kind of like guitar leaning forward, leaning back, like.
Yeah, that's it. I remember. Yeah. You used to hear this one all the time.
Again, though.
Obviously, it came to number 1. Yeah.
I've matured. That's an absolute banger now.
You like it? Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a good song.
This is my favourite part.
Yeah, I remember it so well.
Yeah.
Do you know, funny thing, Jonesy, the other day, mate, I was actually in Manchester. I was walking around the city centre and there was a lot of Atletico Bilbao fans still looming from the Europa League, right? And there was one guy on a motorised scooter with a subwoofer on the back playing that.
No way.
At full volume.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was genius. I love that song. That's 2 great FA Cup songs there.
Yeah.
Well done, mate. Good choice.
Yeah, they had a good season, 94. All right, 95. We just touched on that, obviously, on holding the back page. Everton, Manchester United.
Yeah.
Look.
Paul Rideout leaping like a salmon, mate.
So you look at Everton's road to Wembley, right? They didn't concede a goal until the semi-final.
Yeah.
There you go. So
It was like Jurgen Klinsmann.
So they beat Derby in the round 3 at home 1-0. Bristol City away 1-0. Norwich to beat them at home 5-0.
Wow.
Quarter-final, beat Newcastle 1-0 at home, and then the semi-final. I love that semi-final.
Oh, hang on a minute, mate. Round 5, would that have been... Was Mike Walker still at Everton at that point?
Oh.
I wonder.
Because
Because that would have been a hell of a return.
He was axed. He was axed in November.
Mm.
No, so he would have missed out and everything.
Question: do you think you have to have an easy run in the FA Cup to be successful?
It helps, doesn't it?
Because I'm looking at these so far. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of them.
Yeah.
I've done my research into the latter parts of the year, but the early 90s, a lot of the teams that made it that far kind of had a little bit more of a luckier run. I'm not saying easy.
Well, Manchester United's round 3 knocked your rivals out. So they knocked out Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Away 2-0. Round 4. All right, I've got a story about this. Well, a memory. So they beat Wrexham 5-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember my PE teacher in school was a Wrexham fan.
Yeah.
He went to this game.
Yeah.
What PE? He canned PE, right? And we had to sit and watch this game for PE.
What teacher?
Yeah, I wanted to play outside though. So that's my memories of that one. So they beat Wrexham at Old Trafford 5-2. Great game though. And I'm like, you think about it, you're like, I watch Match of the Day in school for a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember that.
It's funny though, isn't it, mate? Actually, you know, Wrexham now with their kind of history that they've got, obviously with the Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Yeah. It's almost like their history before that. I wouldn't say it's forgotten, but it's almost like people didn't know Wrexham existed before.
Like the Mickey Thomas goal against Arsenal, things like that. Yeah,
they had a very good side, and they always seemed to kind of mix it up in the FA Cup, didn't they?
They did well.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at it. So round 5, they beat Leeds away 3-1. Quarterfinal, they beat QPR at home, and then that semi-final, Crystal Palace 2-2. Was that Roy Keane's stamp one?
It was on Gareth Southgate.
Yeah. And then the semi-final replay, they won 2-0.
Because that was a Villa Park, that one.
How good were they? Neutral grounds.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then the cup final. I've got the program here as well. Great kits as well. Oh, another one though. Everton wore their new shirt.
Thank you. I was going to tell you that.
Yeah, come on.
I find that weird. I liked both kits. I liked the other one though, because I remember watching this one and they came out in a different kit and I was a little bit confused. I was like, why are they doing this?
Because the next season they had that with Danker instead of NEC.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Paul,
I liked the home kit for that season.
There you go. I like this one. This program. Look at this. This is a program. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a beaut.
Yeah. Cover at the back as well. Littlewood's Pool. Great program.
Yeah.
Like content heavy as well. 115 pages, this one. Geez, there's still the Littlewood's quick picks. If anyone wants to do the pools, still in there.
The pools. The pools.
The quick picks 10, the slip's still in there. But great program. Final wasn't that great, to be honest. It was.
No, but because I remember, I was like, hold on, Everton. It was almost like it was a film for me.
Yeah.
You know, like Man United was so big that they were winning everything, and everyone was like, they're never going to lose to Everton. But yeah, I can just remember like Paul Rideout's header. It almost like where I said he leapt like a salmon, he generally hovered in the air and just like it didn't even seem like a powerful header.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It was a bit kind of like it was odd. But they had a good team.
Neville Southall, he got man of the match in that.
Rightly so. Hell of a keeper.
I always remember. Do you remember the after game interviews when the players would line up and then they'll get interviewed? Do you remember? Have you seen the one with Neville Southall? Asking if he's going to go back, if he's going to go to the team banquet afterwards, and he says, "If you spend as much time with these lads as I do, you'd want to go home." So in my notes here, I've got Southall voted the man of the match, an isolated figure as he stood alone in the Wembley tunnel and watched the team coach depart.
Oh,
he went back home to Llandudno.
Right, okay.
Well,
which again is a journey from Wembley, right? He could have got at least a bit of a way there.
Yeah.
I remember though that FA Cup season, because that was the season that Tottenham started as banned from the cup, weren't they? But they were readmitted.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
And they made it to the semis to play Everton, didn't they? Because that was the famous game where Daniel Amakachi basically subs himself on, doesn't he?
Brings himself on, doesn't he? I don't know how he did that.
Yeah.
That wasn't one where you're thinking, yeah, Spurs are getting to the final. Klinsmann, Sheringham, like what a team.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, good result for that FA Cup final though. Have you got the top of the pops on these guys?
Sure do. I'll have a go through quickly. All right. So we'll look at Everton. So that came to 24th in the charts with All Together. Do you remember this one by The Farm? There we go.
That wasn't Everton. Dong.
This is at so it's by The Farm All Together now. So they changed a couple of the lyrics. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, we got to about 60.
Them singing?
Now The Farm.
Did he just say won the cup with Catterick?
That's what I thought it says. And then there's talks about Kendall's boys winning the FA Cup in '84.
Well,
yeah, winning the cup with Cattricks. So they came to 24. All right. So surprise, surprise, Manchester United. Where do you reckon they came in the charts? Higher or lower?
I'm going to say lower this time round.
They came 15th. All right. With I didn't like this one. There we go. We're going to do it again. There we go.
Here we go. Here we go. You better believe it at the end of the
Oh.
Here we go. Again.
It's a bit Beastie Boys.
Yeah. So, yeah, get rid of that one. So,
Jonesy, I'm sorry, but I think Woody is going to go immediately to Spotify and download 90s FA Cup albums following this episode.
Mate, you can still get the CDs on eBay.
Some of them are still working, though. Like
I had the Liverpool Pass and Move on. We're going to talk about that next. I've got that somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Okay, right.
Which
I like that.
Me. Yeah. Okay. Let's bring back the songs.
That was the final appearance, though, for Paul Ince and Mark Hughes, wasn't it? 95 for Man United.
Yeah, Kanchelskis went as well. Yeah.
Changes had to be made.
Big massive fallout after that, wasn't it? I think I showed that article a few weeks ago where it says Cantona was to blame. What Fergie said. So putting everything on Cantona.
Yeah, last week he was defending him against Jimmy Hill, calling him a prat.
Yes. And then the next season, he wins them the league, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So,
Good.
All right. 96. Right. It's a special one.
Yeah, this is yours, isn't it?
I'm so excited with this one. Jonesy's road to Wembley. Oh, I think the road was better than the actual final, to be honest. You only any info on this one?
I've got a couple of bits, mate. I'll let you have this moment.
Yeah, let's go to the road to Wembley because I remember, right? So round 3 we beat Rochdale.
Whoa.
7-0. Here we go. So this is an easy road, isn't it? Round 4, Shrewsbury away. I remember being nervous for this game. I don't know why. I think because it's an FA Cup and we're away, but we beat Shrewsbury Town 4-0.
Yeah.
Round 5 we beat Charlton at home 2-1, and then the quarterfinal 0 against Leeds away, and then we beat them comfortably in the semi-final, the quarterfinal replay, and then semi-final we smashed Villa. Robbie Fowler. Yeah, so it's not a bad road, easy, just that quarterfinal, but comfortable.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't say that's a relatively easy road, mate, that one.
I just remember being nervous for some reason when I get that Shrewsbury Town one. I don't know why. I think it may be a weekend of kind of might be cup upsets.
Yeah.
against lower teams, and I just remember, but we just smashed them. So Manchester United. Round 3, drew against Sunderland 2-2 at home.
Yeah.
Replay, beat them away 2-1. Round 4, beat Reading.
I was there.
Away. Hey,
I was at Elm Park for that one.
You're on the road to Wembley. You were.
I can remember how massive that was, by the way. That was huge in all of the papers locally. It was massive.
Yeah.
I even remember the hotel where they stayed.
Oh,
I think they stayed. I think they stayed at the Caversham Park Hotel, which was on the Thames, near where the Reading Festival's held. But I can just remember, watching them warm up. I've got such vivid memories of this game because obviously that was like Andy Cole, Steve Bruce, Schmeichel. Like they just looked absolutely colossus. And it was almost like it had the feeling of like a testimonial game. It felt like they were doing Reading a favour by turning up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, because you got that feel. It's just like...
Yeah, it didn't feel like a cup game. It was like Man United are in town. It's like, wow. But yeah, looking back now, I would love to just have like that moment of what that game must have felt like again, just to see it. It was incredible.
What a memory. All right.
Yeah, brilliant.
So round 5, they beat Manchester City at home 2-1. Quarterfinals, they beat Southampton 2-0. And in the semi-final, beat Chelsea 2-1. Let's have a look at their kits. What are we wearing?
Oof.
Not good memories of that kit, to be honest. And I'm going to talk about that program. Look how shit that program is.
Considering they started picking up a little bit in terms of the quality, that one looked awful.
This one looks like I've done like I made in school. Look. Is it clip art? Word art?
Clip art, yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, because that real shadow underneath. Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it?
The back's better. Look at that.
Life is a game.
Yeah.
And we all know which one. Oh, Umbro. Oh.
Yeah. But great program, though. Got like lots of detail, but that cover, look at that. Someone signed off on that. And
how many pages?
This is beefy. 114.
Beefy. 114. We're noticing a trend here, mate. It's like there's 115, 114 every FA Cup.
It's great, though. Like, I mean, remember this album?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Euro 96 one.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What a summer ahead, though, after this.
I love that. I used to love this as well. Put the team photos in, like...
Yeah, brilliant.
As well.
You couldn't take that out of the programme, though, and put it on your wall, could you? Or could you?
I like these is good as well. Look. Come on.
Yeah, brilliant.
You Reds? Which one?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, good program. The final, though.
Go on.
I think it's the first time I got upset.
This is therapy, Jonesy. Talk to me. Come on. Safe space.
Just...
no one's listening.
No. Mate, we've got to talk about those suits. How can I forget?
Go on.
You got the Armani suits?
Yeah. Cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And white shoes.
Picked by David James, who signed on to be a model.
Yeah. I mean, that was his era, wasn't it? Of I mean, he's a good-looking guy, but obviously he featured heavily in the fashion world at that point, didn't they? And that was that the birth of Spice Boys at that point?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a clip where Ferguson was commentating. He's just like, "What the hell were they wearing?" I think he knew they had them beat.
That would be like really comforting, wouldn't it, for Ferguson?
What did he say? He goes, he saw the players in there, and then he looked to Roy Evans and Ronnie Moran, and they were in traditional suits, and he's just like, yeah.
Oh, what? They weren't wearing cream suits with them?
No, they were wearing black suits, like traditional.
See, now I'm not being funny. If I was the manager, I'd have a word there. If I didn't have the minerals to wear the same suit myself, like, come on, you'd have to have a word, wouldn't you?
Uncle Roy, wasn't he?
Uncle Roy, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a boring final, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, not much happening. All the hype. I remember being excited. I think I watched the entire 6-7 hours coverage of that.
Yeah, and then what time was the Cantona goal? Second half, first half?
Yeah, it was the 85th minute.
85th? I didn't know it was that late.
Yeah, just over 79,000 attendance as well.
Again, 79. We're noticing a trend. Well, that was it, mate. We know how that finished.
I had the shirt. It's not one of my favorites, I guess, because of the memory. I don't know. All right, do you want to have a quick squeeze of the cup songs as well, quickly?
Yes, go for it.
Yep. All right, let's go for Man United's first. So, came to number 6. Do you remember this one? Move, 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 the Red Tribe?
No.
I'll play it for you then. You remember it? No? Move, move, move. There we go. Yeah. Nah?
No.
They look like a full boy band on the cover, right? Just in their casual
It
wear.
does. A bit of Blazing Squad.
Yes. Let's get to the chorus. No?
No.
All right. We're not missing out on much, are we?
But again, there's
All right.
something in that track that makes me want to listen to it again.
There you go. Available on eBay. All right. So Liverpool brought obviously pass and move, right? So Manchester United came in at they're the team, aren't they? You know.
Yeah.
Right. Number 6. Where do you reckon the Liverpool song came?
Ooh,
Battle of the charts.
20s.
No.
Wow.
4.
Wow.
There we go. Oh, I had this one on cassette, and I think I was CD as well. I love this song. I'll play it for you. Remember this one?
Russia scored more than all the rest.
John Barnes.
Barnesy, of course it is.
Playing with the
Playing with the razor.
J-Mo is the savior.
The old sort of like breakdancing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song, I tell you.
How on earth did that get to number 4, Jonesy?
Number 4 in the charts. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just remember being so excited going down to Woolworths with my pocket money and buying it.
Woolworths. Oh.
Yeah. And I think they had a display as well. They had that next to the Manchester United one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, shit final. Great songs.
Yeah.
And a great road to Wembley. But yeah, just the final was I always remember, so disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 97. Remember much about this one?
Yeah. Obviously, this is Ruud Gullit's little era at Chelsea, isn't it? So he was the first foreign manager to lead out a team in FA Cup history.
Yeah.
Did
I tell you my? I think I told you my memories of this one. Watching outside Dixon's window.
Yes.
I wasn't watching this one, and I remember the roar when Di Matteo scored.
Like 43 seconds or 42 seconds or something like that, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. So that's my memory of that one. What about yourself?
Again,
this one?
Did I watch this one? I think I did. It wasn't, again, one of those ones that it wasn't a big blockbuster of a final in my mind. And again, that's no disrespect to Middlesbrough, because obviously this was Middlesbrough's first season in the Premier League, wasn't it? 96.
Yeah, they got to the League Cup final as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
They did everything. They League Cup final, FA Cup, and got relegated.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hell of a season for a Borough fan, because you were Wembley twice and then still get relegated. I remember, again, I think probably this one was more synonymous with the build-up to the FA Cup final. Obviously, the Chesterfield semi-final at Old Trafford, the Sean Dyche penalty, and then the replay at Hillsborough, which didn't make sense, but there you go.
Chelsea's road to Wembley, there we go. Round 3, West Brom 3-0. Round 4, I remember being pissed off with this game. Like, they beat Liverpool at home 4-2. I think we went 2-0. I was, we just, crumbled. I was so angry. Yeah. Because no one wants to go out in round 4, do you? Round 3, round 4, nah.
Yeah, get a little bit further.
Yeah, then Leicester away. They drew round 5 against Leicester away 2-2, beat them in the replay at home 1-0. Quarterfinal 4-1 against Portsmouth away. Yeah. And then the semi-final against Wimbledon 3-0. I've got the program somewhere. I don't know where it is for that semi-final.
That was at Highbury, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I didn't have it.
And they both played in their away kits.
Oh, there you go.
So Chelsea wore yellow and Wimbledon wore red. And to watch that at Highbury was weird. Weird.
Yeah.
Because I think when you watch FA Cup semi-finals at like Villa Park or Old Trafford, you still get the gist that it's Old Trafford and Villa Park, but they make it look neutral, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas I saw it at Highbury and you see like all of the red posts in the stadium and the stands and the dugout, it just looked too Arsenal for a neutral ground. I don't know if that sounds silly or not, but
and then obviously their scoreboard as well. That's just, you could pick an Arsenal game out of that scoreboard in the corner.
Yeah, it looks strange.
All right, so let's look at Middlesbrough. So round 3, smash Chester City 6-0. Round 4, smash. Round 4, beat Hensford Town away 3-2. Round 5, beat Manchester City away 1-0. Quarter-final against Derby away 2-0. And then obviously we just touched on the semi-final, 3-3 against Chesterfield. And then they beat them in the replay as well. I love that semi-final. I was so...
great.
Chesterfield, like...
Incredible.
I wanted them to win so much as well.
Yeah, that was an incredible semi-final, that one.
I haven't got the program here for this one. What are you thinking on the kits?
Okay. That's like a Sabutio pack, that one, isn't it? Those two, like the red and the blue, like plain. Not a lot going on there.
No. So Chelsea won 2-0. Di Matteo first minute, then Eddie Newton 83rd minute. And
79,000 again.
Yeah, had a bigger attendance than the Manchester United Liverpool game. But have you had that Chelsea course? I'm about to ask you.
I've got that one. I've got the home and away of that one.
Does the sponsor come off easily?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've actually still got a little bit of I've actually got a better sponsor on this one, but I have seen some of them that look awful.
Yeah.
It's like a scratch card.
I got it. I remember it's when I got sent to. I remember opening it, and obviously they haven't folded it right, and it's kind of rubbed together in transit. Yeah. And I remember opening it, and it was just like it's like a scratch card, and I was like, no. I was so devastated. I had to sell it cheap. So Chelsea, back then your kits were shit with their.
Take note.
Yes.
Boo.
But as I said. Memorable final? Nah,
only the Di Matteo, right?
Do you think that early goal kind of killed it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Really?
You get an early cup final goal, and it's just like,
yeah. No.
Yeah. Want to touch on the songs quickly?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. All right, Chelsea.
I love these bits. They still play this now at Stamford Bridge.
I was going to say. Yeah,
this is a banger.
Here we go. So it was Suggs with the Chelsea team, Blue Day, episode 22. Yeah.
Good song.
Good song. You like this one?
Yeah.
So they still play that one.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So there you go. So that came in at number 22. Okay, so Middlesbrough.
That deserves higher, I'm afraid.
Yeah, all right. So what do you reckon Middlesbrough, right? Higher or lower?
Lower.
All right. Surprise. It came in at number 12.
Oh, my God.
Middlesbrough FC, Chris Rea and Bob Mortimer. Let's dance.
Bob Mortimer. Oh.
There we go. Look, have you seen? You have to watch the video for it. There we go. I'll just turn it up. It's Bob Mortimer. The video is so cheap.
Oh my God.
I think the Chris Rea factor must have got him to number 12.
And Shooting Stars was pretty big then, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. There we go.
It sounds as though Chris Rea has taken it quite seriously, though, here. And, like, Bob Mortimer's, like, just shouting in the background.
Yeah.
That's weird, that one.
Yeah, during the week, I'll share the video, because the Middlesbrough one, they're literally just, the players are just like...
Yeah.
But yeah, great song, I guess. That's all right. I didn't mind that one.
Right. Cool.
I know Woody's writing these down because he's going to be collecting these cup final. This is his new collection now.
No joke. Honestly, some of these ones I actually really like, to be fair. Well, moving on to a good one now, though. We're in 1998, right?
Yeah. I reckon, I think I spoke it before we went on there, an end of an era. So this was the first FA Cup final to be on ITV. BBC lost the rights. Still had the highlights, but no more Des. Got Bob Wilson. Nothing wrong with Bob Wilson. I love the Champions League coverage. I think it was great. When I think of Champions League during the 90s, I think of Bob Wilson.
Yeah.
Jim Rosenthal as well.
Jim Rosenthal, I was going to say.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Do you remember this one?
Yeah, I do. This was obviously Arsene Wenger's surge to greatness, wasn't it?
It was.
Arsenal Newcastle at Wembley. I can remember this being a baking hot day. Because obviously the huge build-up, Arsenal had, I think was it Hugo Boss? They were wearing some smart suits, because I remember like them wearing it with like sunglasses, and it was like almost like a purple kind of blue suit, wasn't it?
Players from both sides wore Hugo Boss.
Was it Hugo Boss for both?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a great final. I'm very interested again into the run-ins to these. You've got the build up to both of these as well?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's start with Arsenal's. I think this is a tough one.
This is weird because yeah. Go on, mate.
Round 3, a home draw against Port Vale. Round 3, replay, away draw with Port Vale and beat them 4-3 on penalties. Round 4, beat Middlesbrough away 2-1. Round 5, 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace at home. Then went to a replay, beat them 2-1. Quarter final, drew with West Ham at home. 1-1.
Yeah.
The replay away, 1-1.
Yeah.
Beat them 4-3 on penalties, and then they beat Wolves in the semi-finals 1-0.
So that is one hell of a slog to get to Wembley, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Replay after replay after replay. And I remember the Wolves game, and I have got some comments from some listeners about this one.
I mean, it took it to penalties to beat Port Vale.
Yeah. Newcastle's one was a little bit easier, though, right?
Beat Everton 1-0 away.
Yeah.
Stevenage. Remember Stevenage? This is weird, right? Because everyone's second favourite team in the 90s was Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
But suddenly this Stevenage game, everyone wanted...
Is this where the Sun started sponsoring the kit, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was just so much coverage about this one. So, and I think Newcastle went in there with the attitude of just going to smash them and then get back on the bus and go. But they drew 1-1, and then they went to a replay, which they 2-1. Round 5, Tranmere Rovers beat them at home. Yeah, so it's quite quite easy run. And Barnsley 3-1 at home in the quarterfinals, and Sheffield United in the semi-final 1-0.
See, I watched the semi-final highlights recently for Newcastle, and that just encapsulated everything glorious about English football in the 90s, that game. If you haven't watched it, watch the highlights on YouTube if you can. Tackles flying in everywhere, right? It is such an intense, like, Route 1 classic game of English football. Both sets of fans well up for it, right?
Yeah.
There's David Batty, Alan Shearer. Shearer's goal was a bit scrappy because obviously it's a header that's saved and then he hits the follow-up in. But there's Stuart Pearce. Like, unbelievable, like, game. It really was. But yeah, it's a classic example of English football, that one. Real scrappy, flying in challenges.
I'll have to check it out. All right, let's get on to the cup final. So there you go. So it's a 2-0 win for Arsenal, Overmars 23rd minute, and then Anelka 69th.
Which they both tore the Premier League apart that year, didn't they, those two?
Yeah, so attendance was 183. Yeah. And pretty bog standard program, nothing special.
Great kits.
The kits, though. So I put a kit, it's a long sleeve one. What do you reckon in long sleeve? So this was a cup final long sleeve.
Really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
But that's in the days where the captain chose the sleeve length for Arsenal, wasn't it? So you very rarely see a long sleeve.
Yeah. And that, I like the Newcastle shirt. My brother had that shirt.
Cracking shirt. I've got that. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
but nothing memorable. Like, oh yeah, just I just remember my brother was devastated.
Do you remember? Do you remember the build up to this though? Because Alan Shearer almost didn't play. Do you remember that? And the
No, what
reason
happened?
being, so he was videoed at a game at Leicester, and that was just before the FA Cup final. He was videoed kicking Neil Lennon in the head.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So he actually he escaped the ban because they deemed it as not premeditated.
Yeah.
But he was close. It was touch and go that he would actually make the final. Wow. And I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll touch on that in an episode one time.
Yeah. But yeah, you've got the songs, right? Please tell me you've got the songs.
Sorry, mate, I gave up. Of course I do. All right. This is one of your favourites, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So going in at number 9 was Arsenal FA Cup squad 98. Hot Stuff.
Donna Summer.
There we go. Oh, here we go.
Tune.
Yeah. There we go. Number 9. Did all right.
It's yeah. Great football song.
Right. Walking in a fur camp wonderland. I've got to show you dancing. Go on, mate.
Like maracas.
There we go. Oh, I like that.
Great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
All right, Newcastle's not. Obviously, that came in at number 9. Newcastle's
Jimmy Nail.
Yeah, I struggled to find this one, but still, where do you reckon it came in the charts?
30s.
It came 50.
Whoa.
Black and White Army. So it's the Black and White Army, written by Sting. I don't know if he sang it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he sang it. I'll play it for you.
He didn't want to be associated to it.
Here we go. It's like a spiritual.
He's in there. Oh,
What are you
that
thinking
is
about this
bad.
Yeah.
There is Sting in that.
Okay.
Woke up early this morning and I jumped out of bed. I didn't have to wear my
Oh.
put on the shirt instead.
Yeah.
Black and white jersey.
Yeah. I'll turn
Black
that
and
off.
white jersey.
It's a black and white jersey. Yeah. It took me a while to find that one, to be honest, because I've never heard that one. Hot Stuff, yeah, all over it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So Arsenal won the battle. They won the cup and they won the chart position as well.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the last one. 1999. There we go.
99. We said
think we
this
spoke-
before.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just going to say, you brought it up, didn't you? The build up, everything was focused on something else, wasn't it? Do you think it was just
Well,
it was a weird
Arsenal
one.
Man United's rivalry was in full swing this season, wasn't it? And I think possibly, I might be wrong, but I think the semi-final overshadowed the final for this one.
Yeah.
Personally, I just think that the significance of that particular game, the Ryan Giggs goal, the match at Villa Park was huge. That was all over the news. And then obviously their march onto Champions League for Man United. I think the FA Cup was seen as a bit more of a get it out of the way. Like, we want Champions League.
To be honest, I think I got that feeling as well. It's more Champions League, wasn't it?
Because he rested a few players, didn't he, for that for this final? But I mean, still an incredible victory for Man United in terms of the 3. But
yeah, let's have a look at that road.
Yeah,
that's another one I was pissed off with.
oh
Vince Rumpel,
my
I'll tell you.
God,
So
that's a road.
Tough road as well. So round 3,
Yeah.
they beat Middlesbrough at home 3-1. Round 4, beat Liverpool 2-1. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. There's my FA Cup dreams over.
Round 4 again.
Yeah, pissed off. Round 5, beat Fulham at home 1-0. Quarterfinal, a home draw against Chelsea, went to a replay in the quarters, 2-0 win, and then the semi-final, 0-0 draw, and then obviously that semi-final, 2-1.
Wow, do you know what? That makes the treble more impressive.
That is a
even
tough
more
road,
so.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even more so. To go through replays as well and to still like challenge in Champions League and Premier League, that's incredible.
They did well, didn't they? Let's have a look at the tournamies. Yeah, there we go. So round 3 beat Crystal Palace at home 2-1. Round 4 beat Bradford City 3-0 at home. Round 5 drew at home against. Yeah, round 5 they drew with Blackburn 0-0. Round 5 replay away at Rovers, they beat 1-0. Quarterfinal they beat Everton at home 4-1, and semi-final beat Tottenham 2-0.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, let's have a look. Here we go. Oh, those kids though. So Sheringham and Scholes. I love that Newcastle shirt, and you've got that Manchester United one, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, so famously, yes, glorious, isn't it? So famously, Ruud Gullit requested white socks to be worn with black trim for this game because his previous FA Cup visits and victories all included white socks. So Ruud Gullit specifically requested Newcastle to wear white.
Yep.
We don't give this enough credit, mate, because Ruud Gullit's, I mean, look at that. That's a zoom in of the cup, right? Yeah, look, that's
yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought that looked like the trophy.
Yeah, no more Littlewoods. Littlewoods is gone.
Exa. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Ruud Gullit deserves a special mention here because this is his 3rd mention at an FA Cup final. So, I mean, 3rd or 2nd? Hang on.
I think it was 2nd. It was Chelsea. Yeah, 2.
2, because he was 97, sorry, not 94. My mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 mentions of leading the team out in succession for 2 different teams is pretty impressive.
So you're right. Manchester United decided to rest several star players for the match so they could be fit for the Champions League final 4 days later.
Yeah.
So
and I mentioned to you,
Keane and Scholes were in the team. Yeah, go on.
Was Sheringham up front for that one?
He was on the bench. Dwight York was on the bench. Jesper Blomqvist was on the bench. Yep, Stam was on the bench.
Not going to talk about that.
David May was playing in that one.
But I said to you before we started recording, though, didn't we, that I didn't know, and I'm sure you said you didn't, but this was the first FA Cup final that would not result in a replay if it was a draw.
Yeah, there you go. Times are moving
1999. Like, wow. I thought that had been done before that. But there we go.
Was that the end of the glory? Because the next season, wasn't it? Manchester United choosing to not defend their title. They wanted to go and,
weird.
Tarnish in the cup.
Yeah, weird. Because I remember watching them against Vasco da Gama in the Club World Cup. They struggled, didn't they?
They did. It wasn't easy, was it?
There you go.
There we go.
Well.
Got the song? Do you want to... Only one song. See, this is where we're talking about. So I haven't looked at 2000 because I didn't bother with 2000. But 99, Manchester United brought a song. Newcastle didn't bring out a song. Maybe they were just still reeling from that previous
Fingers
song.
burnt.
All right. This one, there we go. Manchester United 1999 squad. Look at that. Lift It High. All About Belief. Came in at number 11, right? This is Oasis-esque, I think. I will play it for you. Here we go. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it?
There we go. Especially this part.
Oh, yeah. And the old tambourine.
Yep. Oh, get out of it. Watch the... You can watch the... I'll share it. I'll try and share some of the songs during the week. The video for that one, they're all serious. It's like black and white video. Not a head. But very...
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Well...
Andy Cole looking serious. But going back there, so we talked about some of the shirts. I've got some here. I don't know about you, but I was always interested in the pre-match jackets as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, good shout.
I've got some here.
Good shout.
Here we go. That Sheffield. Do you have that Sheffield Wednesday one?
No, I don't. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I put the Liverpool one on there because I was disappointed with that 96 one because that's just a bog standard Adidas. And they just
Tracky,
whacked the
yeah.
bad. That Manchester United one from 96, the tartan print I liked.
Yeah.
And
Arsenal's
that
is
Arsenal
good.
one also. Yeah, but that Wednesday one. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I never
Did
see
that ever
that.
go for... I was going to say, was that ever
It
for
was.
sale? Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still time.
Yeah. If anyone's
but
listening.
yeah, if anyone's listening and you've got that jacket, Woody would love it. I just forgot about the pre-match jacket. Pre-match jackets, I think, were important as well, and they just seem to go away from that in the later years as well.
They did. No, you're absolutely right, mate. A lot of traditions were forgotten, I think, from that.
Yeah. All right. Got any listeners' questions or?
Well, we've had some great
comments?
feedback. So I've got a few here from your listeners. So I'm going to give you a mention. So Rich Critchlow tells us of going to the 98 semi-final for Wolves against Arsenal, which he said felt like a home game. Now, if you watch the highlights, Wolves pretty much take over Villa Park for this one. It's incredible.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because obviously they had a great run, didn't they, in 98 with old Don Goodman and against Leeds. So he's basically put his memory of this, though, was they started Steve Bull on the bench.
Oh,
I don't know how much leave the Bull out.
Rich loves the Bull as well, isn't he?
Exactly. So Jimmy also has mentioned he's a Wolves fan. His highlights of the FA Cup, he can remember one of them was Hans Sager's, his last-minute penalty save at Ellen Road. To get to the semi-final, because obviously it was quite a tense affair with Keith Curle and Floyd Hasselbank. And obviously Don Goodman scoring at Leeds, but Hans Sager's saving the penalty was incredible.
Nice.
Basil has basically said he remembers how hot it was for the 98 Cup final and remembers watching the build-up at his mate's house. Now, I love that quote because that is what the FA Cup is about, isn't it? It's like squeezing into a hot, sweaty living room and watching the FA Cup build-up.
Thinking back then, it seemed to be a hot day. The only one, 94, it was raining, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. But memories of that, it seems to be, FA Cup final. It's nice and hot outside.
Yeah.
Just going to have a lovely day.
Yeah, you got Fletch, who's wrote in as well and basically said about the huge build-up. Obviously, that was his major memory. Always sunny at Wembley. His first kind of FA Cup memory was the Arsenal Wednesday game. Russ has mentioned about the Amakachi resurgence against Spurs. Obviously, we've briefly touched on that in the episode, subbing himself on. But this last one from Tom, calling Mr. Meadows, Sheffield Wednesday fan. I love this one because this just tells you how magic the FA Cup is to a team that doesn't go there every year. So in 1993, him and his family attended a holiday campsite in the middle of France. The mum and dad booked it, but completely forgot it fell on the FA Cup final weekend.
Oh, no.
And Eurocamp, where they were staying, had changed their refund policy. So they couldn't cancel their holiday.
Oh, no.
So obviously they go to France. Sheffield Wednesday play Arsenal in the FA Cup final. It obviously ended in a replay. So obviously the family thought they could still make it. However, they were still in Marseille that week when the FA Cup final was replayed on the 20th of May, which meant they still missed both matches. And apparently his dad still complains about it to this day. But they both assumed that Sheffield Wednesday would make the FA Cup final the following season. So everything will be all right. They'll be there again next year.
Fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, brilliant. Excellent.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that.
absolutely. Oh, all right.
One episode.
I think I need a holiday now, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take the tie off, Jonesy. Blooming heck. I feel like I've done 120 minutes in the Wembley sun. Woo.
That's it. Jeez. Yeah, great episode. That one. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
We say all
Thanks
the
again,
time,
mate. Love all the music.
Very content heavy. Yeah, I've got to squeeze everything in, mate. That's it's the fun of the FA Cup, I think.
Listen, Jonesy, if we're going to do it, we're doing it properly, mate, aren't we? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
No half measures.
No. So I hope everyone enjoyed that one. As I said before, giving us a 5-star review, write some comments, share the pod. Every little bit helps, doesn't it?
It does, guys. We want your feedback.
Yeah.
We want to know how you're enjoying it. And like
Yeah.
Jonesy said, if you can give us positive reviews on all platforms, that would be amazing. Because it just kind of highlights the hard work that Jonesy puts into it and the content and all the research that we do. And we don't just put shirts and tie on for anyone, do we? So
Mate, we do a lot of work behind the scenes,
You
don't
know.
we, to get this? Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You
know.
Yeah. Excellent. Where can you follow the pod? Where can they follow the
Well,
pod?
so if you go to that 90s Premier League podcast on Instagram, you can find us there. You can send us DMs. You can also message us personally at WoodyW1988. And where can they find you, Joan Z?
Football.Jonesy.
Yeah, I mean, great content
DMs are always
individually.
open. Yeah,
Exactly.
DMs are always open. Yeah, send us let us know. Just to, if you haven't seen, so on Friday we put out the bonus pod, didn't we?
We
The
did.
time added on,
Yeah.
which so far has been well received.
Yep.
Great episode as well.
Yeah,
what about
loved
the
it.
Wednesday, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a
loved
lot
it.
of fun with that one. So we're going to be doing plenty more of them as well. So if you ever want to come on, just let us know.
Yep.
Yeah, all teams are welcome in the 90s. Anything else to say, mate?
No, I think we're all good, mate. We'll wrap it up there. We've got a good few episodes coming up over the next couple of weeks, and we've got some exciting projects to tell you about, which we will officially reveal very soon.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you ever so much for listening. Have a good week, and we look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.
They did the double last year. Double blank this year, I'm afraid, but that's football. That's life. Cheerio.